Good morning everyone, welcome to a new market update, and today we're going to discuss some altcoins and of course Bitcoin, as the markets are doing quite well. Everybody was scared yesterday and panicking about the entire movement downwards, but it's actually granting you opportunities to get into the markets once again as we are in a bull cycle. Also, for the Dutch people, if you didn't check it out yet, I've made an item with the Gierige Gasten. I've been a mentor of one of them and he started to day trade. The overall video you can find in the description beneath, where you can also subscribe to this channel and like this video. Next to that, do not forget I've partnered up with my primary exchange in Europe, which is Bitvavo. Fastest cash outs, fastest transaction, also very cheap and easy to use. Plus you can stake your coins on the platform itself. You can check it out beneath in the description. There's a link towards Bitvavo. But now, the markets are doing quite well, and I've put up the total market capitalization chart today to see where we are standing in general. And usually I take the Bitcoin chart, which we'll definitely be discussing in a little bit. But in this chart, I've been watching the total market cap a bit more. As in, the total market cap is more organic and healthy or natural than the Bitcoin chart is, as it shows the entire market cap of crypto. In a sense, what we can see is that the overall structure is still very bullish since we started to rally in 2020. And we've started to rally in a very bullish manner, as we can see that we've flipped many levels and we just started making higher highs, higher lows, which is the basic fundamental point of a bull cycle, right? So in this case, we can see that we've had this massive run towards 1.75 trillion and started to drop down, which was similar with Bitcoin dropping towards 42k. Now, what we do is, or what we have, is that we have this bearish divergence. At least the bearish people will start using this as an argument that we are getting into the end of the bull cycle and are flipping over. However, this bearish divergence is invalid until it makes new lower lows. So what you're watching here is what are the critical support levels for the total market cap, similar to Bitcoin in general, to hold before we can start continuing. So in a basic form, the critical level to hold is this area between 1.27 to 1.35 trillion. If that is sustaining, I'm assuming that we will see continuation and we just have a range bound construction, very similar to the structure that we had after the halving. Next, the critical level to watch is the 1.5 trillion level, as that is basically the flip of the previous high. So in general, we might be getting another drop down, but as long as the 1.5 trillion level sustains, we can arguably say that the market is still in a bull cycle. So as long as that sustains, we can say that this bearish divergence has become invalid, and essentially, given the construction that we are making right now on either Bitcoin and the total market cap, we can already conclude that the bearish divergence is just not the thing that we have to watch right now. And we've also got these examples after the halving period here, in which we got a bearish divergence, but it never became valid, given that we were just making higher lows and just granting the critical support level, which was this area between 240 to 250 billion. So yes, we can have a little calm pace on Bitcoin and ETH and other major caps that would grant the market some stabilization or consolidation, in which smaller caps have their momentum, and we get to that in a little bit. But first we have to discuss Bitcoin against USDT. As you can see that there's a similar figure. And I would love to discuss this halving period that we have here, in which you can see that we have a little different picture than what we used to see on the total market cap, but still the same analysis as what we see on the current price structure of Bitcoin. So what we currently see is what we have had a fake out above 58k, just as in the halving period here, in which we failed to break out upwards, which doesn't really mean that we're going to 30k and the bull market is over. It's just resetting again, testing lower levels for support, and after that continuing the upwards momentum. through which we can see that there was also a bearish divergence in the halving period or after the halving period. And that was not valid as this critical support zone around 8.8k sustained support. Similar to the construction that we have right now, we are making lower lows, lower highs on the lower time frame in this entire construction, but we're not accelerating downwards. So the critical levels that we have to hold on to, and 53k is one on the lower time frame, is this region between 49 to 50.5. As long as that sustains, or even 44k sustains, we can have a sideways consolidation period in which that would grant massive opportunities for altcoins. So in that sense, we can have a similar construction as that we used to have here, in which we are just going sideways for a substantial period of time. And such a substantial period of time is granting altcoins momentum, as you know. So then we have to look at what are interesting altcoins and how can you define those. I'm going to discuss some coins that I've been discussing frequently on this channel, and one of them is of course Zilliqa, because it's granting you some information that you should be checking out in general. As when you're looking at Zilliqa, you can see that we're just accumulating still. This means that there's still much upside potential to go for, and we're currently testing the levels of resistance multiple times, so it's very much ready for a big breaker. But how are you going to define those? Well, let's get the 100 MA and 200 MA up on here, and we can see that that is granting the support. So I'll just give you two examples today. One of them is Zilliqa, the second one is ICX. If the 100 MA and 200 MA are going to cross, that would grant a support zone next to just general price action. So I'm not really used to making or using those MAs as information for my analysis, but it can grant you additional confirmation on the cycle that we are into. So during 2018 and 2019, you can see that we are showing weakness as we are acting beneath. We can see that we've broken above in 2020, and now we are just resting on it, aside from the fact that we are flipping levels for a bullish construction. What do I mean? Let's just use the analysis in this entire chart. We can see that we've got a beautiful support resistance test at 120 cents. I don't have the volume on here right now just to make it simple. As we have been flipping all those levels, we have been making lower highs, lower lows, and it started to switch in general here as we broke again above the 100 and 200 MA. After that, we have concluded, and as you know, we have been charting Zilliqa quite often, this entire region is a heavy support zone. I didn't even know where the 100 and 200 MA used to be back in the day, but that is aligning with the entire block that I have. We see that we hold on to, and we see that we had another run towards the resistance zone, which is this entire region above 330 cents. Now we are granting further upwards momentum, so we can start deriving the critical level that we have to hold on to, just as we've done here. So the critical level to hold on to is the area around 250 cents. Critical level of support. As long as that sustains, even if we get a retest there, that would grant an opportunity. Oh, apologies. That would grant an opportunity in general. So if we get such a momentum, that would grant an opportunity. Are we getting there? I'm not sure, especially given this entire construction. We have been testing the resistance for multiple times right now, indicating that we're going to see continuation in general. And now when we're looking at this chart, the next big breakout is going to push the price up massively. So what can we start targeting? Well, we can start targeting 500 sets, as you can see, but we can also start targeting 800 sets, which is pushing the price of Zilliqa up significantly. And that is very common to what we see in charts in general, as when we use the chart of AAVE, which is currently getting into the zone of interest, but I just erased it a little bit. AAVE is showing us what can happen once it starts to break above those 100 and 200 MA and starts to break out of the accumulation range. So if you compare the two charts of Zilliqa and AAVE, AAVE used to be in this region where Zilliqa is currently at, given that we're also holding on to the 100 and 200 MA. And we can see what happened afterwards with a big surge. So I'm still feeling the figure or expecting that altcoins will still explode heavily or surprise many people in this regard. Next to that, AAVE is getting into a support zone. I'll tweet on it later today. Then we've got another one, which is ICX, and basically showing the exact same figure as what we saw on Zilliqa. Currently there's lots of FUD surrounding by ICX. People are not expecting it to do anything at all, but those are usually bag holders from 2017, seeing other altcoins running heavily while ICX is not doing anything at all. So what we can do here is we've got the 100 and 200 MA, but we also saw a beautiful flip of this 2500 sats level, resulting in a massive continuation or likely continuation to happen. And because of that flip of the 100 and 200 MA, it's lagging behind a little on Zilliqa, but still it's showing the same figures that we have just been discussing. What are the first target zones for ICX? 7,000 sats and 10,500 sats. So I hope you have learned something from this video and seen some expectations on the markets in itself. There's lots of opportunities. Take it slow, get them. Also, do not forget to make an account on Bitvavo and subscribe to this channel. Tonight there's going to be a new video posted on here, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.